Brothers and sisters, I hope we're excited for Advent, this liturgical season that is coming upon us tomorrow, that starts to break forth through the vigil, through the vigil prayers, the Vespers prayers, when we pray the liturgy of the office, the divine office of the church. This evening as we were praying it, we sang O Come Emmanuel, and that sense of what this season is about. This season is to focus our mind intensely on that great truth that Christians long for Christ to come from heaven. If it's about longing, right? It's about getting in touch with that desire to see Christ, and that we long for him to come at his second coming so that he can overthrow evil and establish that new creation which is already established in him, but that bring the rest of the old creation, you could say, into that new creation, and that there will be this new heaven and new earth. And so we long for Christ, and it also helps us to get in touch this season, just our general desire for Christ. Do we desire Christ above all things? Is our desire for heaven strong, or is it weak? Are we scared of death? Are we scared of even meeting the Lord? Is our soul in that state of grace, so that we should have nothing to fear in meeting him, and that meeting him will put everything right for us, even our purification? And so we have to ask the Lord this grace this Advent, to long for him and to desire him. One of the things whereby we will come close to Christ, is I'm excited to do this Advent, is to do this series about inspirations of the Holy Spirit, because it's faithfulness to the Holy Spirit that will draw us closer to Christ. And as we follow him more closely, he will give us great graces, and that will fire our hearts, melt our hearts to see him. So an analogy I heard tonight is that it's very hard to remake iron, but when iron is in the fire, it is malleable, it's bendable. So when our hearts are cold, it's indifferent to the Lord, it's indifferent to grace. But when we fire it up with devotion, with constant openness to the Holy Spirit, to be faithfulness, obedience to God day by day, our hearts will be on fire and easily be shaped by the Lord. And so, Peter, another thing I heard tonight as we were listening to a talk with the sisters, is that St. Peter, he followed the Lord at a distance. During Jesus' trial, his passion, he was at a distance from the Lord. And it was because of that, you could say that he in a sense, he fell into denial. It was a state of Peter's own soul that Peter, even though he was chosen, in his soul, he was far from the Lord. He was distant from the Lord. He didn't follow closely the Lord out because of his fear. And this can be all of us. So Advent's a time for us to recheck ourselves, that we are following Christ at his heels. Like the old image of the rabbi, like disciples are covered in the dust of the rabbi. I heard a bishop say that once in a retreat in Ireland years ago. Always stayed with me. So we want to be covered in the dust of the rabbi by being close to Christ. So close to him that we wouldn't deny him, that our hearts would be so warm as we stay close to him. The fire of charity, the fire of God's love, that presence of Christ will. The closer we are to the presence of Christ, we can't but be affected by it. So this Advent, let us stay close to Christ, and let us just to question ourselves how close we are. Like Lent, Advent, a penitential season, is a time where we recheck ourselves, our relationship with Christ, where we try to have focus in our mind before us this longing for him. So I look forward these weeks to share day by day inspiration, this whole series on inspirations and faithfulness to the promptings of the Holy Spirit, using the mystical and tradition of the church and just the confirmed teaching of spiritual masters like Father Jacques Philippe again. So please feel free to send on the videos. If you'd like to create your own Heart Reach group and add people in your group, just put the title Father Jesse Heart Reach, and then you can add whoever you want to the group, and you can just forward the videos from this series from day by day into your own group with people. So let's get the message out there as best as we can, and really looking forward to journeying with you day by day again. God bless you.